Welcome to The Explainer. So let's talk about something huge, a massive challenge that pretty much every business leader is facing right now. How do you find new ways to make money when your whole industry feels like it's being turned upside down?
Okay, let's really get into this question, because in today's world, it's not a matter of if you're going to face disruption, it's a matter of when and from where. The pressure, it's just constant. And we all feel these pressures every single day, right? Inflation is just stubborn, it hits how customers spend. New tech can change the rules of the game overnight. And it feels like new competitors are just popping up out of nowhere. It's what people call the issues of the day, and it can seriously feel like you're standing on a burning platform.
So with all this chaos swirling around, what's the one strategy that actually works for survival and, for success? Well, it's a relentless, just an unwavering focus on growth. The bottom line is, businesses that are focused on growth are just built to be more resilient.
But growth is so much more than just a number on a spreadsheet. I mean, think about it. It's like the lifeblood of a healthy company. It pulls in the best people, it creates a culture where everyone feels like they're winning, and maybe most importantly, it's a direct signal from your customers that you still matter.
This quote from Harvard Business Review, man, it just perfectly nails this powerful strategy called dual transformation. The idea is actually pretty simple, but it's super challenging to pull off. You have to manage the present, rebuilding your core business, while at the exact same time, you're creating the business of the future. It's how you survive today and thrive tomorrow.
But how? How do you actually sign that growth? I mean, just wishing for it isn't going to cut it. So let's look at a kind of strategic map with 4 really distinct paths you can take to find your next big opportunity. Okay, first up, realigning your business portfolio. This means making smart acquisitions to bring in new skills or get into new markets. But, and this is crucial, it also means having the discipline to sell off parts of the business that just don't fit anymore. And those sales, they inject fresh cash right back into your new growth plans. It's a cycle, really. You prune the old to help fund the new.
The second path is to look inward, to rebuild your core. This is all about finding new growth from what you already have. It's about asking, hey, can we serve our existing customers better? Or can we find new types of customers for the stuff we already make? It's funny, right? So often we're looking for the next shiny new thing, when some of the biggest opportunities are hiding in plain sight right under our noses.
Now, the third path is all about expansion, entering adjacent markets. This is where you take a hard look at your strengths and ask, what unique skills or assets do we have that could give us a kind of unfair advantage in a related industry? It could be your logistics network, your customer data, the trust your brand has built. These are like powerful keys that can unlock totally new doors.
And a perfect example of this is Globe Telecom. They had this massive base of mobile customers and a huge sales channel. So what do? They leveraged that existing strength to jump into the adjacent market of financial services. And in the process, they created the fintech giant Gcash. Brilliant! And finally, we've got the fourth and, let's be honest, the most ambitious path, true innovation. This isn't just about adding a new feature. This is about building completely new ventures from the ground up. You take your existing resources, your talent, your cash, your tech, and you use them to solve a deep, unmet customer need in a totally new way. We're seeing this right now with telecom companies using their tech expertise to create brand new businesses in digital healthcare.
Okay, so navigating these 4 paths, it is not easy. It really requires a clear playbook. So based on decades of real-world experience, here are 7 crucial lessons for making this journey work.
First things first, you have to clearly, and I mean clearly, communicate the burning platform. Everybody, from the boardroom all the way to the front lines, has to understand the urgency. Why do we need to change, and why do we need to change now? That clarity is what makes all the hard work that comes next even possible. Second, and you really got to lean in for this one because it's absolutely critical, you have to look past simple demographics and understand the customer's job to be done. What progress is your customer trying to make in their life? What problem are they hiring your product to solve? Seriously, getting this right, it's everything.
Look, there is no one-size-fits-all approach here. Your strategy has to be tailored to your specific situation. I mean, is your core business under attack? Or are you in a frantic race to get the first wave of users? Your context is what dictates the right moves.
Forget the myth of chaotic brainstorming in a room full of beanbags. Real sustainable innovation needs a rigorous, disciplined process.
It's about testing ideas, measuring the results, being totally willing to throw out what doesn't work, and funding things based on hitting clear, specific milestones.
And that leads right into this crucial rule, which Gil Genio stated perfectly. Facts win. The loudest voice in the room, or even the most senior person, they're often wrong. Why? Because in most cases, we are not the customer. So if you don't have the facts, you have to test your assumptions, period.
You've got to play the long game. There is no silver bullet here. Meaningful growth is a marathon, not a sprint. Even a successful company purchase can take years of hard work to really integrate and create real value. So you have to be patient and you have to be persistent.
And finally, none of this works, and I mean none of it, without a leadership team that is actively, visibly, and passionately involved. They have to set the tone from the top. They have to champion these growth initiatives and make it crystal clear that this is the company's #1 priority.
And this brings us right back to that incredibly powerful idea from the late, great Clayton Christensen. If you define your company by the product you sell, you are basically destined to become obsolete. But if you define yourself by the job you do for your customers, you can constantly evolve and adopt new ways to do that job better and better.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard, really honest look at your business and ask yourself, what job are our customers really hiring us to do? Because the answer to that question, well, it might just be your next billion-dollar revenue stream.